Hey, how y'all doing? Back again, another episode of It Factor. As always, I'm your host, Jeremy Robinson, and today we got somebody special. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Dwight, based in Chicago, in Los Angeles, local artist and creative director.
Sir, that's amazing. So, one of my first questions is like, what drives your passion for art? Like, what has always been that drive for you?
Yeah, for me, it's been one of those things that I recognized in life that it's just kind of a calling. What initially drove it when I was younger, kind of before athletics ended, was primarily just a naturally being drawn to colors, shapes, and just uniqueness. It allowed probably a young person to express themselves in different ways. So that's what initially drew me to art. And then as I got older, it felt like it was more of my calling, something that I was put on this earth to do.
Got you, man. And in that, I would say, so would it be your calling? I have a cousin that can do art like yours, and I just mentioned your page to him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I got to see." Once you interview him, man, that's good. We got him in the family network. I'm like, all right, cool. But in that and reading, looking at your stuff, man, I see you live by 3 H's, man. Could you break those down to me, man? Like, how did they come about, type thing?
Yeah, I mean, 3 H's I've always lived by. I think it was taught to me at a pretty early age, is just being humble, hungry, and hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking them down, being humble, I think that just kind of starts with just your natural ability to kind of take things as they are.
Right.
Recognize what's going on around you, recognize that you're not necessarily although you're unique and may have a unique talent, unique perspective, you're not better than anyone else. There's still a lot that comes with that. So a lot of other attributes you have to develop to be successful. So remaining humble, I think that's what keeps me grounded, regardless of how much talent I may have in comparison to the next artist next to me. It allows me to always be in competition with myself, not necessarily in competition with anyone else. I don't think outside of sports, to me, there is no healthy competition in art. I feel like everyone can be creative in their own way. I think, being hungry, that comes with just working with a sense of tenacity, being willing to step out of your comfort zone and try new things and put yourself in uncomfortable positions in order to kind of break through or have your breakthrough moment. So I think that is kind of where my hunger comes from, not having anything handed to you and always be on the lookout for the next opportunity. And that last one, hardworking. I think that one's pretty straightforward. It's all around just continuing to keep your head down, limit distractions, and ultimately, go after what you want to achieve.
I got you on that, man. That's amazing. So in that, I would say, like, what would you tell that young artist, that wants to be in your shoes one day? What would you tell them? Something they should be doing now?
Yeah, I mean, going back to one of the earlier points is just, being comfortable being uncomfortable, or at least getting comfortable being uncomfortable, because I think for a creator or an artist across disciplines, you could be a fine artist, graphic design, photographer, it doesn't matter. Any of those like freelance, business ventures, I would say, they come with a level of discomfort that you have to kind of ground yourself in. So what I always tell young artists is when that moment comes when you're extremely uncomfortable, it's likely that your breakthrough's on the way. So that's what I'm gonna tell younger artists, just kind of stick with it.
Okay, man, that's amazing. Because I think the thing that gets me is, even with me starting podcasts, with me being a computer engineer, I was coming out of school and I was like, man, I got to do something more than just working for this company. And then doing it, even bringing on people like yourself, and bringing on friends, family, and them seeing it like, hey, how was you able to network with this person? So I think it's my gift. I think this is one of my gifts, and I'm gonna keep doing it because, like you said before, like I feel like sometimes I do like, dang, when I'm thinking I'm doing bad or I'm not gonna be able to do this or something, it always a breakthrough that comes when it comes to podcasting, believe it or not.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy. So in that, when the way that we got together on this podcast is, I seen the football, right? Seen the one with Odell Beckham. I seen it and I'm like, dang, this dude did art on football. That's cool. And with your background and you playing the sport, need to be whatever age it was. How did it feel to now know that like you created something that's just such amazing? Like ain't that many of them either. Like that's an amazing thing too.
Yeah, I think the most incredible things about creating at the intersection of art and sport is, really the opportunity to merge my background and my present. So yeah, in that regard, it feels great to be able to kind of think through the creative process with sports in mind. It becomes pretty natural. And yeah, some of obviously the stars I got to add to the footballs from a design perspective was unique in itself. You named some of the players. So I think overall, definitely a space I like navigating, something that makes me feel at home almost, and I'll probably continue to leverage and lean into.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. So, what is your it factor, man? Why you do what you do?
I do what I do primarily because, like I said, I was called to do it. I felt like, there's a lot of things I could do. There's a lot of things I could be good at or, continue to develop myself in. But, being an artist, being a curator, and more specifically a Black artist and curator, there aren't a ton of people, to follow, or there's not a ton of people to that have been put in the right position or in the spotlight to, kind of follow in their footsteps necessarily, at least not that are accessible. So that's why I do what I do, is to inspire the next generation to follow my calling, my passion, and continue to leverage opportunities that have been put before me.
Got you. I like that, man. You're a solid guy for that.
Appreciate you.
But the crazy thing that I think of when you just said that, you basically answered one of my questions. So when you're done with art and it's done, say you're gonna retire, you don't even want to touch the pen anymore, or maybe you pass away or something like that, what's something that you would want to be a legacy that's left?
Yeah, I mean, I think, for most artists, probably, and the same goes for me, is probably be known for your uniqueness, originality, and probably, style. Like, just like, what you did that was truly authentic and unique to you. And, being your authentic self and allowing that to kind of be part of your legacy. And then, more importantly than that, like, I want to leave this earth with a happy family, happy situation, generational freedom, generational wealth, all those things. So I think that's like my ultimate goal, is probably just overall happiness. Like, that'll do it.
I think that's amazing to have overall happiness, and it's also be in a better place than your parents had you when you was, born, or anything like that. I know I've been working for that type of place, and just to see some of your work, I know you're on that road to do that, just for seeing that, So it's amazing. I think your work speaks for itself too. But just to get to know you, I'm just happy to be able to bring you on the show. So in that, before we do close, I would say, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, no, I mean, the only thing, for you, obviously you're a creator and yourself. So, kind of what's next for you, the podcast journey, what's the overall message that you're trying to get to kind of stick with consumers?
Got you. So my biggest thing is I want to bring on Black people, women and men like yourself, and just show the different professions that we are in. And like that we're here, like you even said earlier, like it's not that many Black artists that you can kind of say, hey, let me email them real quick or get in touch with them. Or, even when it comes to engineering or something as simple as a doctor, you don't even know how you can get in touch with them. So I want the show to be that place to where, I look up this person, I'm like, oh, okay, I want to do that. You're able to go back and do it, look at that person, say, okay, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an artist. Oh, Jeremy interviewed this person. So that type of thing, that's what I'm working towards, and just becoming a network for all the people, man, for all our people and for everybody in general, man. So
Sure. No, that's love, man. No, I appreciate you having me on the show. Definitely, overall, like you said, as family, stay connected, keep building, and obviously much success with the remainder of the podcast episodes.
Thank you, man. I'll definitely be reaching out and talking to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
For sure. All right, man. Take care.
All right, bro.